Hey, what's up everyone? Peysoh JAMZ back with another review, and I'm giving an official review finally of Kendrick Lamar's album, GNX. GNX is the surprise album released late last year by Kendrick Lamar, Grammy nominated winner, Pulitzer Prize winner, and rapper, 37-year-old Kendrick Lamar from Compton, California. This came out November 22nd of last year, like I said, and made the second spot on the top 24 albums of my list. 12 tracks in 44 minutes. This was out of nowhere. Coming off of the rap beef with Drake, fans and myself did not expect this at all. The industry did not expect this at all. And especially, like I said, coming off that rap beef, that immense stuff that started around this year, about a year ago, yeah. But, anyways, 12 tracks, 44 minutes, no interludes from start to finish. It is pure content. So, something I do want to say is this was kind of hinted at, I guess, in the track. I mean, not in the track, in the music video. Not Like Us. It was the track number 2, Squabble Up, was teased in the beginning, but I didn't really think much of it. I thought that he was just, it was like a scrap song. It was just like a little intro type thing because he has done this before. Like, for example, in the Alright music video, he teases a freestyle in the beginning that he never released. And also, some of you might be wondering, why are you reviewing this now? Cause he just started his tour with SZA this past week, and I'm seeing him this weekend. So, plus, music's been kind of slow lately. So, hey, what a better time to, in honor of Kendrick Lamar starting off his tour, I'm giving this an official review. So let's jump right into this thing. Something I do want to mention right off the bat is how West Coast heavy and influenced this album is. Coming off of his last album in 2022, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, it did not receive as much praise or respect, honestly, as I thought it should get. I gave it Album of the Year for that year. I love the album. It's very awesome, very strong, very emotional, and hard hitting. But that's kind of what people don't like about Kendrick. He's the life guy. Oh, all he talks about is deep life shit. We just want the bangers, man. We just want the hard hitting tracks. Well, guess what, motherfucker? That's what you get in this thing. All right. Like in track number 1, whacked out murals. Right off the bat, he says, "Fuck y'all, fuck the industry. It's all about me now. I'm done being the humble guy." And that is exactly what Kendrick Lamar does in this album. From start to finish. Well, there's some instances here and there, but I'll get to that later. And something I also want to mention, track number 1, the intro track, also not a lot of people talk about it, as far as I can tell. Very underrated track on this thing. It's very, the whole, like, I know it doesn't have the hardest hitting production, but the whole siren thing that you get every few seconds is kind of crazy. Like it is an intro track, but it's a very, like, whoa, like, what are we in for? It's a very good start to the whole thing. Great start, actually. And then you move into Squabble Up, which is a freaking banger. The samples on this thing are out of this world. Like I said, very West Coast G-Funk influenced. When I Hear Music by Debbie Deb is sampled on this thing. There's a track number 6, Reincarnated. It is he samples a Tupac track which I can't name. It's 2 words. The first one is Made. The second one, I'll let you figure that out for yourself. But yeah, not only does he sample that production from that Tupac track, Kendrick Lamar samples Tupac's flow, and it is very hard hitting, very aggressive, very powerful, punching, and only Kendrick Lamar and his craft can do something like that. And also, I do want to say that not only does he have some awesome samples on this thing, but he has some features on here that are exclusively West Coast and very underground West Coast that not a lot of people know about. Now, I do want to say that the only like big name that he has on this thing, and no disrespect to anyone else on that's featured on here, like Roddie Rich, SZA's on here twice, and that is that she's from his former label TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, and that's pretty much it. Lefty, Gunplay maybe, and Roddie Rich, and that's kind of it. If I'm talking about known West Coast rappers or rappers in general, but what is very interesting about what Kendrick Lamar did on this album is, even though they're featured on here, some of these features aren't like, they don't have a full on verse. They just have maybe ad libs, maybe a line or two. But Kendrick Lamar was like, you know what? Let me go back to the roots, to the start of it all. Compton, California, West Coast, that, LA. What, look at what I'm wearing right now. Hey, I'm gonna wear this at the concert, by the way. Anyways, I'm getting off topic here. But what I'm trying to say is, he is shouting them out, and they're so underground. They're like, "Hey, check out these guys. They're West Coast. They bring the vibes." That is really interesting coming from Kendrick, considering that he didn't really need to do that. Like, for example, Lefty Gunplay on TV Off doesn't really have a full on verse. What isn't more like a chorus type thing, but he still is on there. He keeps the track moving. 7X and Wallie the Sensei and Roddie Rich are on Dodger Blue on track number 7, on track number 8, excuse me, Dodger Blue, not really on there as much. They're just combined into one type of chorus type deal. But like I said, Kendrick Lamar still featured them on there. On track number 5, Hey Now, which is one of the most mysterious, ominous, creepy tracks that Kendrick Lamar has ever released. It is so interesting. Dodie Six does a fantastic verse on that thing. He has great chemistry with Kendrick Lamar on that thing, and makes me want more, honestly. And then track number 9, Peekaboo, featuring Azchike. Great to see him on here. He was on. He featured twice, I believe. I know once for sure on Schoolboy Q's album of that same year, Blue Lips. Great to see that as well. And in terms of the whole, like, and I know like the whole G funk's going on, like I already mentioned, Hey Now, you also have the pacing is great as well with this album. Coming off of Squabble Up, very exciting song, very jumpy song. You get Luther, which is one of the most popular songs on this thing, featuring SZA. Very moving track, very great chemistry between the two. They are no strangers to each other. R&B style song, very moving and very catchy. And then you slowly transition to Man at the Garden, where it is probably the slowest song on here, and also the track where it is most conflicting in terms of Kendrick Lamar and himself. Of like, okay, I'm no longer doing the humble thing. I deserve it all. Like, I'm gonna do me now. I'm gonna focus on me because I'm tired of putting myself out there and getting burned and maybe taken for granted, and people still talking their shit. Like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do my thing now, and I deserve it all. And yes, he does. TV Off, with the whole mustard thing. I don't know if mustard, but also with Peekaboo, very catchy stuff. And then track number 10, Heart Part 6, he finally gives an explanation what happened with Black Hippie and TDE. If you don't know what Black Hippie is, it's a group of sorts, a collab group with the original 4 members of Top Dog Entertainment, J-Rock, Kendrick Lamar, Absol, and Schoolboy Q. They formed this thing called Black Hippie, did some tracks together, and they no longer did tracks together. They featured on each other's songs, but Black Hippie was no longer continued as a group collab type thing. And he finally sheds light on that. Hey, it was Kendrick Lamar all along. Not in a bad way, but he just had creative differences and had a bigger vision. Not to say or talk less on the rest of on the other 3. He just didn't want to hold them back and was like, you know what? I'm just not on the same page with these guys. I don't want to put out content or art or music that isn't going to be fitting, or I feel that doesn't fit. So why is he going to do that? He gives finally an explanation to the fans after so many years what happened to that. And that is freaking, crazy to me. And awesome production on that as well. I do have to say, though, my only gripe with this album is track 11, GNX, the self-titled track featuring Hit at 33, YoungThreat, and Peysoh. I have no problem with those features at all, but the track itself is kind of all over the place. It's one of the most craziest tracks from Kendrick in terms of how messy it is, out of place everything is, and just like a jumbled mess. And at the same time the beat itself, the production kind of sounds like it's unfinished, and it looks really flat and stale compared to the production on the rest of this amazing album. And that's pretty much it in terms of like my gripe and criticism with this album. And I do want to end off with Gloria, the final track featuring SZA again. Very beautiful. The whole mariachi Spanish thing that he kind of sprinkles in from start to finish with the album, very fitting. Also a West Coast thing, also a California thing, and just how he ends it off with his talking about his wife Whitney, where I think that he has mentioned so many times, especially in Mess Around the Big Steppers, of conflicts with her and how they get through so many things together, yet they still love each other so much, and it is a very powerful song. Whether he has interest, like very strange way to go about it. I don't think it's degrading at all. I think it's very beautiful the way that they just find their way back to each other, even through their darkest of times, and it's just wow to me. I do want to end off with this though. I'm giving GNX. I know I didn't give it an official rating in my top albums of 2024. I'm giving this an official 9.5 out of 10. It is one of Kendrick's best works, if not his greatest work to this date. Take that as you will. I know that's a bold statement, but you have to agree whether you hate Kendrick or admire Kendrick's work, some of his work, you do have to agree that with each project that he does put out, it establishes stepping stones and in all forms of rap and all areas of rap. He establishes these things that where he kind of goes above and beyond and goes out of everything of like what is expected of rap music. He kind of expands beyond that and goes above and beyond with everything that people expect with the industry and the genre. And you have to be this way, you have to be that way. No, Kendrick Lamar is doing his own thing, and that's why I admire that man so much. That guy is a lyrical genius. He is an artist, and I cannot wait to see him this weekend. Let me know what y'all think of GNX. Link in the description below if you have not heard this amazing album already. 9.5 out of 10. GNX, Kendrick Lamar. Hope to see y'all in the next video. Peysoh JAMZ out.